We have always comforted ourselves with the illusion of a quiet, slowly aging cosmos. But out in the frozen, silent dark, 1.5 billion kilometers from Earth, the Euclid Space Telescope has just torn away that comforting shroud. Peered deep enough into the abyss, and the abyss does not just stare back, it burns with a terrifying, insatiable hunger. Euclid has pierced 13 billion years of cosmic dust to find 31 of the most ancient quasars in existence. Among them, 2 monstrous beacons of ruin, blazing from a time when the universe was just 5% of its current age. They are the oldest ever recorded, shining with the violent, blinding fury of 1 trillion suns. But their brilliant light is not a symbol of creation. It is the glowing, screaming death rattle of entire galaxies being torn apart, piece by piece, atom by atom, and swallowed whole. At the heart of these ancient beacons sit supermassive black holes of impossible proportions. By all the laws of physics we cling to, they should not exist. How did these gravitational titans grow so massive, so fast, in the absolute infancy of time? What dark, primordial mechanism allowed them to mature into cosmic predators while the universe was still in its cradle? We are forced to confront a deeply unsettling reality. These are not merely passive anomalies, they are active, roaring engines of annihilation. They drag gas, dust, and millions of stars into a spiraling, superheated vortex of friction and gravity, crushing them into nothingness. Our deepest primal fear has never been the dark itself. It is the terror of what hides within it. It is the realization that we are fragile, momentary dust motes drifting in a hostile void ruled by ancient, invisible gods of gravity that do not recognize our existence. We look up at the night sky and crave order, but Euclid has revealed a cosmic wilderness governed by absolute, merciless consumption. These 2 ancient titans stand as a chilling testament to our own insignificance. They are a reminder that in this universe, long before we ever drew breath, the dark was already hungry, and it has been devouring everything in its path since the very beginning. Deep in the freezing, silent void, 1.5 million kilometers from our fragile world, the Euclid Space Telescope stared into the ultimate dark. It was looking for the edges of creation, searching the absolute infancy of the cosmos. What it found instead was a terrifying anomaly that tears the fabric of modern physics to shreds. Drifting through the cosmic dawn, just 670 million years after the Big Bang, Euclid captured the agonizingly faint infrared signatures of 2 colossal titans. They are the oldest supermassive quasars ever recorded, burning with the hellish, collective fury of 1 trillion suns. But their mere existence is an impossibility. They are cosmic ghosts that should not be there. To understand the horror of this discovery, we must look at the clock of creation. At this primordial epoch, the universe was a mere newborn, barely 5% of its current age. According to every established law of astrophysics, this was a time of cold, slow accumulation. Black holes should have been infants, gently feeding on sparse hydrogen, growing over billions of years. Yet, these 2 monstrous anomalies already weigh billions of times the mass of our Sun. They are fully formed, mature, and infinitely hungry predators dominating a newborn universe. How did they grow so fast? The math does not work. To reach this gargantuan scale so quickly, these black holes must have bypassed the fundamental speed limits of the cosmos. They did not just feed, they gorged. They must have consumed entire primordial galaxies at a rate that violates the Eddington limit, the absolute physical threshold governing how fast matter can fall into a gravitational well. This is not a slow, elegant cosmic dance. This is a catastrophic, hyper-accelerated slaughter. It is as if some unseen, violent mechanism, perhaps the direct collapse of massive primordial gas clouds, or a terrifying, hyperdense collision of dark matter, forced these beasts into existence fully grown. They did not grow from stellar seeds, they were born as monsters. We are forced to confront an existential dread. If our models of the early universe are correct, then these 2 ancient quasars are a physical paradox. They suggest that the universe did not begin with a gentle dawn, but with an unspeakable, ravenous violence. Something in the deep dark was devouring the very building blocks of reality before the first normal stars could even find their light. We are looking back into the abyss of our origins, only to find that the cradle of the cosmos was already a graveyard. We look up at the night sky and comfort ourselves with the illusion of order. We draw constellations, mapping a celestial family tree, desperate to believe we are part of a grand, harmonious lineage. But the Euclid telescope did not find ancestors. It found the predators. To look back 13 billion years is to gaze directly into the open, salivating maw of the cosmos. At the very root of our universe's family tree lies an insatiable, primordial hunger. These two ancient quasars are not mere celestial objects, they are cosmic engines of absolute erasure. They do not simply burn, they devour. And in their feeding, we are forced to confront the most terrifying truth of our existence, our absolute, staggering insignificance. Imagine a beast so colossal that the destruction of a solar system is merely a microscopic spark in its throat. When these monsters feed, they do not just crush rock and gas. They warp the very fabric of spacetime, dragging entire galaxies into a silent, inescapable void. The stars we see dying in their grip do not leave behind beautiful nebulae. They leave nothing. These predators permanently erase the light, the history, and the physical memory of everything they touch. Every civilization that might have risen on those swallowed worlds, every song, every war, every desperate cry for survival, all of it is ground down into a dense, nameless singularity. A total, retroactive annihilation. We live our fleeting lives on a fragile blue speck, terrified of local disasters, of storms, of plagues, of our own mortality. But those are merciful deaths. They leave ashes. They leave ruins. The cosmic predator leaves a hollow, aching vacuum. It is a terrifying realization that the universe did not begin with a gentle cradle, but with a feast. We are not the masters of our destiny, we are merely the unspilled crumbs on a table where invisible giants have been dining since the dawn of time. As we peer deeper into the dark, we must ask ourselves, is the silence of the cosmos a sign of empty space, or is it the quiet, breathless terror of a prey hiding in the weeds, praying that the ancient hunger passing overhead does not turn its blind, devastating gaze toward us? To look into the deep universe is to stare back in time, into a primordial dark that should have been silent. Instead, 13 billion light-years away, the Euclid telescope has detected a scream. It is the blinding, violent glare of the two oldest quasars ever discovered, shining with the fury of a trillion suns when our cosmos was a mere infant, barely 670 million years old. But this is not the gentle dawn of creation. This is a crime scene of cosmic proportions. At the center of these ancient, newborn galaxies, something is eating. We are witnessing a feeding frenzy so vast, so terrifyingly rapid, that it defies the very laws of physics. To produce this level of apocalyptic brilliance, supermassive black holes, monsters weighing billions of times the mass of our sun, must have already existed in the absolute infancy of time. How did they grow so massive, so fast? Nature demands eons for such giants to form, yet here they sit at the beginning of everything, fully grown and insatiable. They are cosmic parasites, hollow voids born with an infinite hunger, devouring entire nurseries of pristine stars, gas, and dust. They are stripping their host galaxies bare, choking out the potential for future life before the universe has even fully warmed. Feel the cold, existential weight of this revelation. The light that Euclid captured has traveled through the expanding void for over 13 billion years, a ghostly whisper from a time when the universe was shifting from pitch-black darkness to hot, ionized fury. It tells a story of a primordial hunger that predates our Earth, our Sun, and the very concept of dust. We are looking at the ultimate predators of the deep, entities that do not merely inhabit galaxies, but dismantle them from the inside out, converting the building blocks of reality into raw, blinding energy before casting the remnants into eternal nothingness. Perhaps the universe did not begin with a peaceful expansion, but with a desperate, chaotic struggle against a darkness that was already hungry. As we peer deeper into the abyss, we must ask ourselves, are we observing the natural evolution of the cosmos, or are we watching the slow, systematic consumption of everything that ever was, by monsters that were waiting for us in the dark since the very first second? Look into the abyss of the early cosmos, and you will find that the dark does not merely wait, it hungers. For eons, we believed the cosmic dawn was a period of gentle creation, a quiet nursery where the first fragile stars kindled the dark. But the Euclid telescope, peering 13 billion years back into the deep womb of time, has shattered that illusion. It has captured the ghosts of our infancy, 31 primordial monsters, including the two oldest supermassive quasars ever recorded. They emerged when our universe was a mere 5% of its current age, a time when nothing so colossal should have physically been able to exist. Yet, there they stand, burning with the terrifying, blasphemous light of a trillion suns. These are not stars. These are cosmic engines of pure annihilation. At their frozen, invisible hearts lie gargantuan black holes, locked in a violent, eternal feeding frenzy. They are devouring entire infant galaxies, tearing apart pristine nurseries of hydrogen, and swallowing the very fabric of spacetime itself. What we are witnessing is a cosmic autophagy, the universe consuming its own children before they even have the chance to grow. The sheer scale of this destruction defies our laws of physics. How did these gravitational titans grow so monstrous, so fast? To look at them is to realize that the universe did not begin with a peaceful whisper, but with a predatory scream. The brilliant, blinding light we detect is the friction of dying matter, the final, agonizing gasp of gas and dust heated to millions of degrees as it is dragged across the event horizon. It is a beautiful, sickening shroud draped over an insatiable hunger. We are staring at the ultimate cosmic paradox. The very light that guides our understanding of the universe's origins is generated by the absolute destruction of those origins. We are looking at our own ancient, celestial graveyard. As Euclid maps this dark, expanding void, it leaves us with a cold, existential dread. We are merely fleeting observers, clinging to a fragile rock in a quiet corner of space, looking back at a dawn that was born in violence. If the infancy of our universe was ruled by such monstrous, devouring entities, we must ask ourselves, what happens when the feast is over, and the dark finally catches up to us?